The royal family?
The Duchess of Sussex.
The royal family titles
Meghan Markle went up.
It began with a letter that could change the future of a family and the face of a monarchy. From the halls of the United States Congress came a formal request, a demand, really, addressed not to Prince Andrew, but to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. The title itself, already slipping away like sand between royal fingers. The letter called for justice, for truth, and for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein to finally have their questions answered.
For questioning over his links to Jeffrey Epstein. Let me show you this letter from the Congress of the United States. This, I do point out, is a Democratic committee. And they say, in the interests of justice for the victims, this is a direct letter, by the way, to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Apologies if I've referred to him as a prince, because of course that is wrong, but it's a lifelong habit, which I'm going to have to get out of. In the interest of justice for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, we request that you cooperate with the committee's investigation by sitting for a transcribed interview with the committee. Now,
But the timing couldn't have been worse. While the world's cameras turned toward Prince William, fresh from his global address at the COP summit in Brazil, another storm was gathering at home. A storm that threatened not just the monarchy's reputation, but its very foundation. For on this same day, King Charles III made it official. With the stroke of a pen and a royal seal, he stripped his brother of the title that once defined him. No longer His Royal Highness, no longer Prince, just Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, a royal name, without the royal grace.
We begin with breaking news this afternoon. In the past half hour or so, King Charles has formally removed Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's Prince title and his HRH style by issuing what's called a letters patent. Details of that have been published by the Crown Office in the Gazette, saying the King has been pleased by letters patent under the Great Seal of the Realm, dated 3rd of November 2025, to declare that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor shall no longer be entitled to hold and enjoy the style, title or attribute of Royal Highness.
Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, another Windsor was fighting for relevance. Harry, the once beloved soldier prince, now a polarizing figure in exile. He had written a passionate essay calling on Britons to remember their veterans, even after the uniforms were gone. Yet for many, his words rang hollow. Because this was the same man, they said, who had walked away from duty, from family, from crown. He spoke of banter and British pride, and claimed that though he lived in America, Britain would always be his home. But his past accusations of racism, of betrayal, still hung heavy in the air. Forgiveness, it seemed, was not easily won.
Prince Harry has inadvertently sparked speculation about plans long denied by his team that he one day plans to return to the UK by saying he currently lives in the UK. Lives in the US. He recently told a podcaster he had no plans to become a US citizen. He made the new remark not in an off-the-cuff interview, but in a written article distributed on global newswires about Remembrance and Veterans Day celebrations, which take place all this week. Harry has provoked suspicions he is trying to take attention off his brother Prince William by travelling to Canada to support such causes today, the same day William presents his Earthshot Awards in Brazil. In the article entitled The Bond, the Banter, the Bravery, What It Means to be British, Harry, who moved to the US 5 years ago, paid special tribute to the wounded Ukrainian servicemen and women he spent time with earlier this year at the Superhumans Rehab Hospital in Kiev. He said, "These people reminded me that bravery is not the absence of fear, but the triumph of purpose over it." Then he said, "There is a similar stoic spirit of self-deprecation and humour in Ukrainians that I recognise more than any other in us Brits. Though currently I may live in the United States, Britain is and always will be the country I proudly served and fought for. The banter of the mess."
Critics called his essay a distraction, a desperate move to pull attention from his brother's rising star. And perhaps, they said, a sign of something deeper. That Harry's American adventure wasn't all it promised to be. But if Harry's words divided, Andrew's actions condemned. The Epstein investigation loomed again, and questions of integrity echoed through royal corridors once thought untouchable. It wasn't just scandal anymore. It was survival. And with the king's official letters patent, the message was clear. No one, not even a son of the late queen, was above consequence.
Here's the letters patent. I mean, it is a bit of a historic moment, Connor, even though it was well signposted, because remember, for a long time, there was this idea, well, there's going to have to be a debate in Parliament and stripping the titles just isn't possible. Well, it actually is, which I think sends a shiver down the spine of Prince Harry over there in Montecito, because I think by the end of his life, his brother will seek revenge and he will be Harry Mountbatten Windsor. I really do believe that. But let me just show you, because it is this historic moment. There's the very short update, given the significance of what the king is doing. The king has been pleased by letters patent under the Great Seal of the Realm dated 3rd of November 2025 to declare that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor shall no longer be entitled to hold and enjoy the style, title, or attribute of Royal Highness and the titular dignity of Prince. And it's gone. Something that...
For many Britons, it raised a haunting question. If Andrew could lose his titles, could Harry be next? Some royal watchers whispered that William, when his time comes, might seek to reclaim what his brother threw away and leave Prince Harry behind forever. A thought that sent a chill through the palace walls.
Something that the late Queen Elizabeth II always considered his birthright, being known as Prince Andrew, is gone. Which means, in my view, there's no reason why Prince Harry should be Prince Harry, and there's no reason that Meghan Markle should be the Duchess of Sussex, to be completely honest.
As this royal reckoning unfolded, William stood in Brazil, speaking of unity, of climate, of the future. His Earthshot Prize had drawn global stars and glowing headlines. But his speech at COP carried weight beyond applause. He spoke of the planet's pain, of lives already affected by rising seas and burning lands. He asked the world, what legacy will we leave? It was a moment meant to inspire. And yet, at home, it drew criticism. Some saw leadership. Others saw politics. For a monarchy already under fire, even good intentions could look like missteps.
Now, I'm not sure if you're going to be impressed, Connor, with William's speech today. So he hosted the Earthshot Prize last night, which was a huge success, very star-studded, Kylie Minogue, Shawn Mendes. But of course, you do have the Woketopians there too, the Jacinda Arderns, the Sadiq Khans, the Slippery Starmers. And today, I don't know, verging into political territory at COP, where he was representing his father, by the way, because of the king's deteriorating health. Watch this.
Affecting lives across the UK and across the world, from small towns to major cities, from coastal communities to inland regions. No corner of the globe will be unaffected. These impacts pose risks to growth, security, and well-being in all countries. But we know that these risks often fall hardest on those who contributed least to the crisis. This demands urgent, coordinated action. We must ask ourselves, what legacy do we wish to leave? Because the impact of all our choices will be felt by us all around the world, in the safety of their homes, the stability of their livelihoods, and the health of the natural world that sustains us all.
And as the spotlight turned once again, another headline stole attention. Meghan Markle returning to acting. Not as a character, but as herself. The news rippled through the tabloids like shockwaves. For years, Meghan had insisted her Hollywood chapter was closed. But now, after the collapse of her projects and fading brand deals, the Duchess was stepping back into the industry she once left behind. A full circle moment, or a desperate one, depending on who you asked.
Connor, I've got to ask you as well about the big royal story on the front page of the Sun newspaper today. Meghan Markle's so desperate, all of her projects since moving to Hollywood haven't worked, that she's going back to acting, making a shock return to acting, playing herself in a movie alongside Lily Collins, Brie Larson, Jack Quaid. I mean, I guess the one thing that we can take from this, Connor, is that Megxit has been a disaster, right? Because this is the one thing she said that she would never do.
The House of Windsor, once the image of stability, now feels like a royal drama played out on a global stage. Titles fall. Brothers drift apart. Public trust wanes. What was once whispered in palace corridors is now shouted across social media feeds. The crown is no longer just a symbol of heritage. It's a mirror reflecting every fracture of a changing world.
Yes, he will. Yes, he absolutely will. He will be in tears about that without any doubt.
And as the camera fades on these royal faces, some tarnished, some tired, some still holding on, one truth remains. In the end, titles are fleeting. But history remembers everything.